Next, these are all the things that you will be practically applying. Okay, without this you cannot write any. I mentioned to you, right? Data ingestion. Without data ingestion, there is no big data at all. So anything that you want to do, first thing is you have to bring the data. So Sqoop is very important. So when you go to an organization, they are telling that create the report from Hive. The first question that you are going to ask or going to get is how will you bring the data to Hive first. So what you will use? Sqoop, right? And we have done almost all the commands for import all tables and Sqoop import, and you have seen how you can bring the data using Sqoop import to HDFS. What happened to your phone? Okay, just start. I just started. So so Sqoop import is for data ingestion. Okay, see dress also. But prepared for cricket. Have you ever seen that he is coming with a already started up virtual machine? No. So please start your virtual machine. Me? Yeah. With the cricket dress. I want that. How people means I wanted to put it in my passion bite side that people come here ready to play, yeah, with passion. Right. So Sqoop import we have seen, import all tables we have seen. Import is for importing to HDFS, and today what we are going to see, how are you importing into Hive? Okay, we have not imported into Hive. Remember, we always imported into the file system by using target directory and warehouse directory. Okay, so open two windows because we may need to switch between MySQL and Hive. So log into MySQL -u. You can do along with me. Okay, -u the retail underscore DBA and -p. The password is Cloudera, and use retail underscore DB as the database. And once the database got changed, then show tables. Make sure that you don't have any extra tables because we are going to work on these 6 tables, right? So use retail underscore DB and you have got all the 6 tables: categories, customers, departments, order items, orders, and products. Next thing that you are going to do is come here and then start Hive. Okay, and then let's make sure that Hive is clean. That means there are no tables which you have seen just now in MySQL, right? Show tables. I'm using the default database. Okay, so there is demo, there is MySQL, my schools, and there is sample. So nothing is conflicting. Okay, so I'm opening another window. Okay, so there are 3 windows. One is for Hive, one is for MySQL, and one is for typing our Sqoop command. Right? Right? As I mentioned to you, in certifications and all, they will tell you create a Hive table in problem 8 database. Suppose it is the 8th question. So what do you need to do first? You have to create the database. Okay, make sure that you are creating the database. So let us do that. Okay, let's create a database called Passion. Right? How will you do that? Create. Oh, sorry. It should be in the Hive prompt. Go to the Hive prompt. Okay, you should know what you are typing. So create database. It's a database command, so you must type it in the Hive prompt and write Passion. So it created a database, and now if you write short databases, make sure that it is there, called Passion. Okay, again, remember in the certification they will tell you, they will not tell you to create a database and all. They will tell you that create a Hive table problem 8 dot departments by importing the data from MySQL. That's how the question will come. So when you say that word problem 8 dot, you should always remember that problem 8 is the database name, and you must create it. Okay. Why we never typed a database name? Why? Because always we are referring to this database, which is default. So when you refer to default, you don't need to tell the database name. And in the examination also, for the certification, when you are creating a table directly without creating a database, where it will go? It will go to default. And I told you there is an automated program which will be checking whether your program is correct or not, and that program will check in problem 8 database and it will tell that table not found. So you successfully executed your command and everything is correct, but just because of that step, that question or the answer is wrong, right? So created the database, and now you come back to the screen where you are going to write the Sqoop command. So what is the command? Sqoop import, okay, minus minus connect. Please type in all that you know. JDBC : MySQL / localhost : 3306 / Captain is getting the message to come for toss. The retail underscore DB is the database that you need to connect. Minus minus username minus minus password. Cloudera, which table you want to bring from MySQL? Let us say minus minus table, remember, and we are going to give the table name as departments. Okay, you can give any table name that you want to experiment with. Okay, here comes the new words. Dash dash Hive dash import. You are doing an import to Hive for the first time. This is a new thing, right? Hive table, Hive dash table. And where is the table? This is the trick. Passion dot departments. Okay, look at that. So if the question is problem 8 database, you should write problem 8 dot departments, provided you have created the problem 8 database before you execute this command. Clear? Any question? If the database name is there, you have to create the database first by going to Hive, and then you execute this particular command. If there is any already existing table is there, you may give as an option Hive override. And please listen, this is a little bit a tricky command. When you execute this, please understand what is happening. Okay, I am going to bring into Hive table, right? And this is your MySQL, and this is the departments table. When I am bringing MapReduce or Sqoop, will not write it directly to this particular table. What it will do, it will create a temporary table and it will start loading the data one by one, and when all the tables are completed, it will completely refresh into other table. Okay? And please listen, sometimes you executed this command and you understood that something is wrong and you want to execute another command and you pressed Ctrl+C. So you did not complete this command first time. And assume that you run the second time the same command. You will get an error. Can you tell me why? First command did not execute at all, but still you will get an error second time when you are executing. First command you executed, halfway you pressed Ctrl+C.
Partial data.
Huh?
Partial data.
Not partial data. Look at this. You cannot overwrite in the whole Hadoop MapReduce world, right? And already this temp space is created, right? So when you are executing this, the command will again try to overwrite this particular place. and it will give you an error telling that temp already exists. So whenever you get that error, what you need to do? Hadoop fs minus rmr, this particular place. Then you execute it, okay? So normally almost all the databases work like that. It will write into a temporary area called staging, and then it will flush it to the final table, right? Let's execute this particular command and then press enter. Passion is the database. You have to create a database by going to the Hive prompt before you are doing it, right? So it will invoke the MapReduce job as usual, and it is now going to bring all the data. And what's the difference between the previous commands that you learned till last week? This is importing directly to Hive. So you do not need to worry about creating a Hive table. Understand? Otherwise, tell me what you will do. Assume that you know only till last week's class. What you will do? You will load it into HDFS first, and then you will write a create table command, and that create table command will point to load data in path of that particular file. You see how many steps you need to do. All that can be avoided by directly importing it into this particular one. And always look at the statistics. It should tell some files and some size. That means the command is absolutely correct. Okay. How will you check whether the command is correct or not? Look at this. Go to the Hive prompt. What is the command that you need to do? Is it available on the default database? If I type show databases, do you think the table will come? Look, show databases. Oh, sorry, show tables. See, it's not there. Why? Because we created that table in Passion. So what do you need to do? Use Passion, and now show tables. Look at that. You got that departments table. Now let us do a describe departments. See, MySQL data type, there is no string. Some databases will have varchar and etc., right? Hive did the implicit conversion. It knows that varchar means convert it into string. Integer or decimal means convert it into int. Hive does all that for you. And now let us write a select star from departments. Make sure that all your data is available. That 8 and 9 may not be there for you unless you have done the practice. Okay, 8 and 9 teaching and dancing we created in the last class for showing you incremental data upload. Otherwise, you will have 7 rows that is coming in.
I got an error for
The command is wrong, no doubt. And the message will clearly tell you what went wrong. Alright, now the most important command is write describe. And I told you, you forget about the normal describe command. What is the command that you should always write? Describe formatted. Yeah. Describe formatted and departments. And please look at this. It is saying you that we have got database, owner is this, it's a managed table, and the location. Always remember the default location for Hive, user/hive/warehouse. It is there inside user/hive/warehouse. Why that word passion is coming? Passion.db is the database name. And inside the passion.db, please just scroll it right side. No, here it is there. So see passion.db and departments is the name of the table, and it is a managed table, right? And just for your information, this is a little bit advanced for you, but just remember this. What is this word? Lazy simple Saturday. What is this Saturday? Anything you are doing in big data, internally, Hive has to read the data, right? The Sqoop has to read the data and then put it into Hive, right? and that data has to be brought through the network, correct? Remember what did I tell you about Guava cache when I told about Hive caching? If you want to transport the data through the network, it should be serializable. Okay? Without serialization, you cannot bring the data through the network. Okay? For Vasavi, serialization means what? Assume that I want to bring, a glass of water through the network. It is not possible, correct? The only way that you can bring it is through either carry it, right? But if suppose there is some method by which you want to bring it into your home through the network, what do you need to do? That water has to be converted into bytes, correct? Bits and bytes. Then only it can traverse through the network. That conversion is called serialization. And if you do serialization, what the receiving end also should do? Convert back, right? What is that called? Deserialization. That serialization and deserialization short form is SERDE. Serializer, deserializer, right? So Hive is telling that, okay, I am bringing the data from MySQL through the network. I am going to use a simple serializer for serializing and a simple deserializer for deserializing. By looking at that line, you will know what is the serializer that are being used. Why I told you is that, even though I'm not covering this, assume that tomorrow an Excel file is coming in for healthcare. You know what is Excel? Excel is the format in which the data is coming to Florida Blue, Aetna and all. Excel formats. It's an EDI file, yes. Electronic Document Interface file. 837, 821, all these are the different types of formats that are being used. Have you ever seen an Excel file? You should know this very, very well. Okay. So, open the browser and then just type X12 healthcare sample and then press enter. And look at that. Okay. Examples X12. Okay. Click on that X12. Right, and then just click healthcare eligibility enquiry. Okay, examples, and then it's an EDI example I want. Okay, but if you look at the data, you will understand it clearly. Look at that. Policy, provider, facility, network, address, communication, phone number, extension. But this will not be like this. It will be in X12 standard. I wanted to show you how the EDI will look like. Healthcare service review.
External EDI file.
Yeah, I want to check X12 EDI file. X12 EDI file sample. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Look at that. That's how all the data is coming in. What is the most of these ab initio developers are doing? They're all converting that X12 into either database format and then they're putting into the database, and your database you are querying. That's what is the entire flow is all about. And there is another project going on called Edifex, where all these kinds of files are coming in, and then you are going to parse it, and then you are going to put it. It's called a gateway. Okay? So that's X12 format. So if suppose this file is coming and you want to load it into Hive, that's why I told you it's very advanced. Tell me what you will do. Huh? You will write X12 SERDE and you will do that X12 serialization and deserialization. That's the trick. That's why I told you it's very advanced. So you can do whatever you want. The whole world has created so many serializers. JSON SERDE for serializing and deserializing JSON. You can use it. Right? So that's the concept of Hive import, and you can get this particular data in the table, and all that data will be brought from MySQL and you will be getting it. So now you know how to import all tables, how to import into HDFS, how to import into Hive. Right?
So quick question, Ravi, if we import a SQL table into Hive, so will it create some files in HDFS automatically?
What are you seeing there? Location.
HDFS, yeah.
If you want to, so okay, please answer that question. How will you do that? Go to your command prompt, HDFS or Hadoop FS minus ls. What is the location? Just go. That is the reason why I gave you that Hive location. So if you are just coming down and then copy this particular one and then go here and Hadoop FS minus ls and then right click and then paste departments. If you are doing, how many files you will see? 5 underscore success and please learn all the concepts are completely whatever you have learned. Why for my MapReduce program by default, and it created all the 4 files. This is where all the files are there. Is that clear? So describe formatted, never type describe. Describe formatted will give you more info about what is happening inside this, right?
So can we place files
Of course, create table command. But it already created the Hive table for you.
Yeah, from SQL.
Huh?
We have imported from SQL to Hive.
Yeah, correct.
Before we imported from
SQL to HDFS. Right.
Can we do it from HDFS to Hive?
I don't know the answer. You tell me. Can you create a Hive table from HDFS? That's what we learned in the first class, no? Create table schools and then you loaded it myschools.csv from HDFS. Good. There is a saying, right? All Ramayana and at the end. By the way, who is Sita? Okay. Next, Sqoop export. For what export is used? Sqoop is bidirectional. It can be used for bringing data from only relational database management systems. Please remember again and again. If somebody is telling you bring the data from file, Sqoop is not used. Okay, tell me the answer to this question. If you want to bring a data from file to Hive, what you will do? Very simple. If you want to bring I have a CSV file. So the company is telling that from my Oracle, I have got a CSV file. I want this CSV file to be brought into Hive. What you will do? Put that CSV file into HDFS and then load that particular table. Done. You don't need Sqoop for that. Correct? Sqoop is for relational database management systems. And the very first class I told you, Sqoop is bidirectional. What is meant by bidirectional? You can bring the data into a Hadoop ecosystem as well as you can take the data from Hadoop ecosystem back to your relational management systems. So the command for taking back the data is the opposite of import, which is export. So first, let me do the import. Okay. So what I'm going to do is let me delete this particular database and all. We don't need it anymore. So drop database. Drop table departments and drop database passion. All right. Show databases. Now I should have only default database. Yeah, demo sometimes we created. I don't need that demo also. So drop database demo. And please look at that. When I'm trying to delete the drop database, it is telling that it is not allowed. You know why?
There
That demo database contains tables. So what you need to do? Use demo and then show tables. And inside these tables, there is a demo table that is available. Drop table, demo table, and then drop database demo. Then it's done. Right? You have to go and delete or drop the table, and then you have to drop the database. Clear? Very simple concept. Anyway, that's called, there is a cascade option in the databases and all, if suppose you want to do that. All right, Control L. So we have the Hive table here, we have the MySQL table departments, and what I am going to do now, first let me do an import, okay? But Hadoop fs minus ls, is there any directory called Sqoop underscore import? If there is, I will delete it. Yeah, Sqoop underscore import is there. So Hadoop fs minus rmr Sqoop underscore import, okay? Typo. Delete it. Good. Delete it. And now, how will you import the data? Come on, last class. Come on, yeah. Minus, what you need to do? Warehouse directory or target directory, correct? What is the difference?
Warehouse directory.
Warehouse means it goes to any department.
Okay, otherwise?
You can mention target.
No, it will create the table where? Minus warehouse directory and give the name Sqoop underscore, no, import. I am going to create an import. Look at that command. Sqoop import is the name of the command. Okay. Minus table departments. Is there any other field? I don't think so. So it is now importing. It is a previous command. We already covered this in detail.
Did we specify table name?
Departments I specified. Otherwise you will get an error. Minimum query I told you. Maximum query I told you. Skew I told you. How to balance this I told you. Right? Listen carefully the concepts, because you may get, like Krishna was asking, right? How will I load the data? Because so many things are coming together. That's why you are getting that. See what I am doing now. I have brought the departments table not to Hive. I brought it to where did I brought? Sqoop underscore import. So Hadoop fs minus ls Sqoop underscore import. I should have the departments table because I used warehouse directory. If you use target directory, departments will not be created, right? So what will be there inside the departments? All the 4 files. Now comes the commands that we want to do. I want to export this into a table in MySQL. I want to export. The first thing that you need to do is, whenever you told to create the Hive table and all in our previous command, who created the table for you? The command Sqoop created the table for you, right? Now you are exporting the data to MySQL. Sqoop doesn't have the ability to create a table in MySQL. Why? Because it is not belonging to Hadoop ecosystem. So what you need to do? You have to go back to your MySQL prompt and then write create table dept demo as select star from departments where 1 equal to 2. You know that 1 equal to 2 is false, so it will create only the structure. And please remember, no primary key will be created when you do this particular thing. Even though departments table is having a primary key, your DEPT demo will not have a primary key. Why? this particular command will create only the structure. I will show you that. Okay. Yeah, departments. Okay. Now please see, describe departments. You must see the primary key, which is the department ID. Departments. Look at that. PRI is a primary key. Now describe DEPT demo that we just created. Look, no primary key. It creates only the structure. Now come back to your Sqoop command window. And what you are going to write? Sqoop export. So first time we are having the new command now, the export command. Let me just check. Okay, minus minus connect JDBC colon MySQL, and remember to change these parameters depending upon the question. They will tell you my MySQL is running in port 8000 and the host name is 192.168.1.5. You have to replace it. And the database name is, let's say, customer. So /customer you will write in the exam. Retail underscore DB minus minus username retail underscore DBA minus minus password Cloudera minus minus table DEPT demo. That's the one which we created. Please don't write departments. Why? It will be overwritten or already exists. Is there anything that you are expecting now? From where the data is to be exported from? So minus minus export directory. So the third one, warehouse directory, target directory, and export directory. Export directory should be used only with export command. Tell me what is export directory that we created? Sqoop underscore import / departments. Do you need to give part and all those kind of things? Nothing. Just give that particular directory. If you want, you can put the double quote because I used double quote for every parameter. And press enter. If everything is okay, it is now going to take the data from Hadoop file system back to relational database. So when you go for a job, they are telling that, okay, after I do my analysis, this particular data is there in this location. Can you move this to Oracle? This is what you'll do. Just if you learn this, that's enough for a job. I think entry kind of job. Well versed with how you will bring the data, how will you export the data. Okay, look at that. Exported 9 records. And come to the MySQL window. I just created, and as you can see earlier, there are no rows at all in this particular table when I created it. Why? Because I did not create the data at all. And now select star from DEPT demo. Look at that. It brought all the data from HDFS. Clear? Drop table, DEPT demo. Okay, and I am going to execute the same command one more time. Empty table. Okay, I am going to show you something else. Again, I am creating the empty table. How will you know it is empty table? Do a select star from DEPT demo. You should not get any rows. Empty. Okay, please watch carefully. What I am going to do now, I am going to create a database called passion, just like earlier. Create database, passion, use passion. I created the database. Come back to Sqoop. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Come back to the Sqoop command and go through the history and take the command that we executed for bringing the data to Hive. This is the command that we used, right? And what is the table that is created? Passion dot departments. Are you following? I am bringing the data. I am just executing the same command that I executed earlier. And I want to bring the data to a Hive table. What was the command that I have just showed you previous to this? I brought the data into HDFS, and from HDFS, I exported the data. Okay, this is what I did. Please tell me to repeat if you are not clear. From MySQL, I brought it to HDFS, correct? And what was the name of this directory? Sqoop import / departments. After that, this is the first thing that I do. And what did I do? The second thing, from here, I moved it to MySQL, right? Now what I am doing, third, I am bringing the data from MySQL to Hive. See the difference? This is Hive import. Look at the command one more time. I am not executing it. It is Hive import. Are you following?
Mm-hmm.
What, Krishna? So, I brought it. Now let us check whether it is created in Hive or not. How will you check? Use passion, but please look here. I have created the database called passion. And show tables or directly write it. It will be there. Select star from departments. Very good. All the data has come. Now question. Everything is good. How will you do this? How will you do this? From Hive to MySQL export, I know. Oh, very good. Huh? Answer is unfortunately you cannot do export from Hive. What you need to do then? Do the trick. Think about the trick. Huh?
HDFS files.
Describe formatted of this table will give you what? Describe formatted of this table will give you what? The location where the file is, right? Describe formatted will tell you the location of where this particular data is residing, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And already you know how to
Get it from the
get it from the file, right? That's the trick. Got it? This you cannot do export. For example, there is no command Sqoop export from Hive table. No. You have to do a research of this particular table by describe formatted departments. It will tell you the location, and from that location export it. Please don't type this command. You will see something interesting now. Okay. So how will I know the location of this particular file in the Hive prompt? What do you need to do? Describe formatted. See what a very useful command. And departments is the directory. I'm already in the database. And oh, sorry. This is what I want. Look at that. You go to the location and location is HDFS. Right? Now comes the fun. Please don't type this. I am going to copy this location. Okay? Are you observing it? Right? And now I am going to this Sqoop import. I am copying this location and I am going to my earlier command. What is that? Sqoop export. And remember in MySQL, what is the table that we created? DEPT demo. And I told you at the time I created it empty. And what is the table that you are going to write? The location you are going to write? You got it? And let's see what is happening now. And one interview question is going to come. So the MapReduce job is getting executed. It is exporting the data as you think. And it is going to take the data from Hive and putting it. So always remember, you cannot export directly from Hive. You have to find out the file, and from the file you have to export it. But internally, yes. But the question will be what? Hive to this one. They won't tell you, right? But what happened? Question is this: why?
Did we specify the delimiter and the format?
Why? Because in the HDFS when I exported, did I put anything?
HDFS will take anything, but while
What
inserting into
HDFS will take anything?
file,
It's
right?
comma separated value file, right?
So we need. So this is from file to.
You are very close, Mahesh.
We need to mention the delimiter.
Yeah, that's why I answered the question to you.
We need to mention the delimiter.
Please look, couple of things. Do you remember that whenever you are importing the data from MySQL to HDFS, what is the default delimiter? Many times we have seen it. What is the default delimiter? Comma. Correct? And when you exported from HDFS, this step, second step, you are exporting from a comma delimited HDFS to MySQL. It automatically works because Hive works very well with, Sqoop works very well with comma separated value file. Please look something which I have hidden. When I looked at the Hive command, describe formatted. Describe formatted, if you come down, please look at the field delimiter. When you put the data into Hive, it is different from comma. So, you told to export from that particular file location, but that file is not containing what? Comma. Do you want a proof? Please look at this. Okay. How will you see that? Okay. You go here. HDFS minus cat HDFS Hadoop FS minus cat or HDFS minus cat. Hadoop FS minus cat, and then let us paste that particular file, right? Paste /part star. Okay, I want to see this particular file. That is that character. Very, very important. When you are importing the data into HDFS, plain vanilla HDFS, it is comma separated. When you are importing into a Hive table, internally, as you mentioned, Hive will use HDFS, but with an exception. What is that? The delimiter is a special character, which is denoted by the Unicode /U0001. And how you can understand it? Only by the describe formatted command. That is the use of that command. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to type the command in a completely different way. Just let me refer. So what we will do is export is failed, right? So I am going to write the same command export directory, but minus minus input dash fields dash terminated dash by, and you have to write, even though there is 3 zeros in the describe formatted, you should put only 3 zeros because that slash will handle it. Okay, slash 001. And if suppose tomorrow, if you are coming to know that the line delimiter also you need to change, I'm just giving you the complete command, even though it is not needed. Minus minus input lines terminated by. This is not needed for this case, but just keep it if in case you need it. Terminated dash by and new line. If you don't write this, you already know never the data will get exported from Hive. The reason is Hive uses default delimiter differently from that of plain vanilla HDFS import. Right? Now let's execute this command.
Specify delimiter in Hive when we are placing it in Hive.
Yeah, you can do that. You can. Actually, you can override that one as well. I think you have to look at that options, import options. There will be something. I'm just telling about the normal ways. So people won't do anything when they write into Hive, right? Look at that now, no errors, and it got the complete 9 records exported from Hive. So please remember, the essence is you cannot export directly from Hive. You can export only from the file system where the Hive table is relying on. And when you are exporting, at the time you have to give input fields terminated by. Otherwise, you will get an error. So go back to your MySQL now and then select star from DPT demo as the name of the table. You got all the data now. Right? Next topic, Hive partitioning. Another excellent and most widely used idea. Okay, what is Hive partitioning? What is meant by partitioning? Huh? Beginning class, huh? That time just typing and jar, Hadoop jar, right? What is partitioning?
Dividing files, say data into.
I don't have any option to switch off the AC. It is completely for this building. Maybe what we can do, we can open this door and see.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
All right. What is partitioning? You never used partitioning?
Dividing data into several parts for better
Okay.
efficiency.
Assume that I have an Oracle table, and assume that this is January, this is February, and all the months are there as one column, month, and then the corresponding data is there. Okay. And this is one table. I want to write select all claims star from this table where month equal to February. A full table scan will occur. Please look at this diagram. This is one table, okay? No special things I have done. Just dumped all the data. When you write select star from table where month equal to February, and assume that this table is containing 5 billion rows. Can you tell me how many rows will be scanned for giving you the output of this query?
5 billion. All 5 billion.
All 5 billion rows will be scanned. Is the month January, February? Because is the month of February, is the month of February, is the month of February, is the month of February? Every row will be there, okay? Assume that I created January data inside this, February data inside this, and up to December data inside this, and assume that each of this is just 10 million rows each, let's say. Partition by month. And now I am writing select star from table where month equal to February. What will happen? It will scan only 10 million. 10 million versus 5 billion. If you don't know this, your queries are not going to be there, and that is what is a primary thing happening. You should be knowing what is the query. You should know what is the where clause or the predicate that you are using, and depending upon the predicate, the where clause. What is the where clause here? Where month equal to February. That will give you an idea that partition by month. And that is a fantastic idea which will improve the performance manifoldly, not once, twice. It can make the things faster 100 times. And with the partitioning, if you use Presto, end of everything. Your data, your data lake based on Hadoop will work like a database. That's what I'm doing every place. First to partition it and then put Presto. What Presto will do? Skip map reduce. Right? And what partitioning will help me? Faster queries from the database. Right? So, please watch. I will give you time to do this. You have to do this, okay? First, you please completely watch it, and then I will help you to do it. This is something which you must do very, very nicely. Twice, thrice, please do it for all the other tables by leveraging this example. Okay? So, what I'm going to do first thing is that let me delete all these directories that we have created. Hadoop, fs, minus, rmr, Sqoop underscore import. You can go, Mahesh, whenever you like. Right, Sqoop import. I have deleted it, okay? And what I'm going to do, I don't want these Hive tables also. What is that table that we created? Drop table. No, departments. And drop database. Gosh, I'm just clearing it off. Oh, sorry. How will you execute a Unix command in Hive? Look at the command. Exclamation, clear, semicolon. Okay. Now, come to this MySQL also. Let's clean it up. I don't want... what is my MySQL? Oh, you exited. Yeah. MySQL minus u retail underscore db a minus p and then Cloudera use retail underscore db and show tables and the dpt demo I don't want, so drop table dpt demo dpt demo. Okay, good. All are cleaned up, and what we are going to do, we are going to do the partitioning. First thing, I want to show you this table called orders in MySQL. Describe orders. Please look at that. There is an order ID, order date, order customer ID, and order underscore status. Okay, I'm just explaining you the table. Always remember that when you are doing the partitioning, you have to analyze the table, you have to analyze the queries that are being used by the downstream applications. The queries, the where clause will give you the idea of whether you want to partition it or not. Now, let me run a particular query here and you will understand why. Select star from, not star, order underscore status from orders. Please look at that. There are so many statuses. Complete, pending, processing, etc. So natural example is what I'm going to show you. If I want to find out all processing orders, if I don't do the partitioning, entire table will be scanned. So what I am going to do, I am going to partition this table by status. So that if I want to get all the orders which are processing, I can just go to that particular partition and come in or come out. Clear? So let's bring this particular table into Hive. How will you bring to Hive? Sqoop import. We don't need to create a database. I will bring it to default. Which window it is? That window is gone. Okay. So inside the Hive,
I have
not Hive. I have to come here and then write Sqoop. Let's type one more time. Minus import, minus connect, jdbc colon mysql colon / localhost colon 3306 / retail underscore db. Spelling localhost. Minus username retail underscore dba minus password Cloudera minus table. Oh, sorry. Table. Orders. Minus Hive dash import minus Hive table, and let us call this particular table as orders again. Okay, I'm not creating database. If I'm creating database, I could have written dash dot. And if there is existing, I know it is not existing, but just for practicing like this, use the Hive overwrite command. Anything else? No. So we are bringing in the orders table. This is a little bigger. Why? Because it is not like the departments table where only 9 rows are there. I think there is significant amount of rows inside this. This password is already available here, right? If he wants to upload at the end, Krishna knows it, right? Okay. All right. And look at the total size. Earlier, the size was just 91 something. And the total size is too big because the data is very big. You have created a Hive table. Come to the Hive prompt. Okay. Select count star or count of 1 efficient from what happened?
You might be in a different database.
Order underscore status.
Yeah. Here there is orders.
Select count of 1 from orders. So it is going to run the MapReduce on that because there is an aggregation. It is not a simple fetch. As you know, all the fetches will go through MapReduce. As you can see, 68,883 rows are there. Okay. Now, please look at this query. Select count star from orders where order underscore status is pending. I have mentioned to you in the MySQL screen that we have the columns order underscore status, which is what we queried earlier, right? So if you look at the describe command, you can see order underscore status is a column, and what I am going to do, finding out where the order status equal to pending. Okay, how many rows were there in the table?
68,008.
Total, right? And now we are running a Hive query for pending, correct? A little complex MapReduce because there is a predicate plus count star combined together, right? It's a where clause as well as there is a count star is available inside that. Look at that. How many status are there? Okay, this is not what I want you to observe. Okay, look at the localhost 8088 and press enter, which is showing you the status of your MapReduce. And as you know, any Hive query will generate a MapReduce program. Look at that last query. Select count star where the status equal to pending. This is what I executed just now. You click on that. You come to the right side, and there is something called history. And click on counters. You know very well what a counter is. We all learned as much detail as we want. And then please look at input map records for running this particular query. How many mappers got executed? How many input records were executed? That's what I want you to observe. That means it did a full table scan. Clear? Okay. And that is how you will look at the efficiency of your MapReduce program. This screen is where the MapReduce programmers will come and tell that how much size was processed, how much things happened, etc., etc. And the reason why I taught you counters, where we created our own counter, remember? For counting, let's say, skip lines in the ultimate word count program. That is the reason. Now, if you are going to go to Hive now, let us do a partitioning of this particular table. Okay? So let us create a new table, and the name of that new table is my orders. Okay? So create table. Okay? So we are starting our partitioning logic. Control L. I'll give you time. Create table my orders. Okay, my orders is the name of the table. Okay, there are so many things concept coming in here, so please listen. So create table my orders, and I am going to give order underscore id, which is of type integer. Okay, if you want to know what are the data types, you can open another command prompt. Okay, before I am typing this particular command, I will just show you a simple describe. Okay, I don't want describe formatted. Describe orders. Please look at that column types. So then you can easily type that particular query. Okay, so create table my orders. Remember, it is not orders. Why? Because this new table my orders is going to be partitioned. So yeah, create table my orders, and I am going to give order underscore id, which is of type integer, exactly duplicating what is there on the top. Order underscore date, which is of type string. I am not changing that. And I am going to write order underscore customer underscore id, which is also of type integer. And I finish this one. See, is it foolish that I am finishing it? I am writing only 3 columns now. But I am changing the last one by writing partition by order underscore status, which is of type string. So that is the command that you should do whenever you want to create the partition. Just one, listen, Shashi, because there are some things coming in. If you type, you will miss it. So you created a table called my orders. Whenever you want to create partition, remember you to use the partitioned by clause. You should exclude that partition column from your create table command. Now, can you partition on multiple columns? Yes. You can just put comma and write it. I'm showing you the order status one. So, you are creating a table now by telling that this is going to be partitioned. Okay. Before going there, please look at this screen, and I am going to start another Hive prompt here also. Okay, just for showing you something. Okay, and I am going to type describe formatted orders. Orders is my old table which is not partitioned, and press enter. And please look at the top. Database, owner, create time, all these things, and it is telling you what are the columns. Please look at that. These are the columns. Do you see anything special here? Nothing, right? Just 4 columns. Now, I am going to create this table, and now I am going to write a describe formatted my orders, which is a new table. The only way by which you will know whether a table is partitioned or not, again, what is the command? Describe formatted. It will tell you. If the table is not partitioned, just look tomorrow and then type and see how many tables are done like this. You will see pathetic results. So, describe formatted is the command which will tell you whether the table is partitioned or not. And do not think that this column, because it is partitioned, it is not a table column, even though we did not write that column in the create table directly. It is part of the all columns, but the only thing is that this column is a little bit special. It is partitioned now. Now we need to load the data into partition table. Right? So what we are going to do is, we are going to write the next command. Insert, overwrite, the syntax you have to study, table. Okay, you are going to get an error. So please listen, don't type. My orders, use partition, which is order underscore status, select order underscore id, comma, order underscore date, comma, order underscore cust or customer, right? Customer id, comma, order underscore status from orders where order underscore status is not null. Listen, it's a command, but there are so many things to know from this. First very important thing. First very important thing is, you are inserting override into my orders and your partition is order underscore status. Please look, Where is my order underscore status column written in the select clause? It is the last one. You must make sure that your partition column is the last to come. So if you are partitioning by order underscore ID, this will be order underscore ID. Okay. These are all the important things that you will miss. That's why you should take care of what column you are partitioning and it should come last. Now, can anybody tell me why I am writing this one? This is also not known to maybe 10% of the people know it. Assume, okay, what is this query doing? It is taking all the data from orders and putting it into my orders, okay, by partition. That's what is happening. Now, why I am writing this particular one? Assume that while it is taking the data, 68,883 rows are there, right? While it is taking the data, assume that one row became null and a lot of nulls can come in tables, right? If the null comes, what will happen? Your partitioning and everything will be stopped. So to avoid termination in between, always it is a good practice to write order status is not null. If it is an integer column, write order ID not equal to 0. So it will make your process continued without a trouble. Now there are very interesting things going to happen, that you are going to take the data from orders which is not partitioned and you are going to put the data in such a way that all the pending status will go to one place, this one will go to another place. And do you remember the partitioner code that we have learned? It will create that modulus operation and it will put it into the corresponding partitions, right? So let's see how it is getting executed and you will see some extra information. What is that? Is there a
extra?
where?
No order status.
Oh yeah. Right. I told you, you will get an error. By default, dynamic partition is not set in Hive. And this is a very important certification thing that you need to do. To enable partitioning, you have to tell that dynamic partition should not be strictly enforced, it should be non-strict. How will you do that? Right? Set. Okay. First, let me show you something. Let us look at what is this value.
Where is the dynamic partition? We already defined the partition.
I defined the partition, but the internal Hive is not allowing me because of the settings that are there in the configuration. Okay, so set and right click and then paste. If suppose you look at this value, you will see that it is strict now. Okay, this is also very weird. I don't know why they have done like that. If you want to get the value of a configuration, you will usually use the get command, right? But you see here, the command you use to get, also you need to use set. Okay, now I am going to change it. How? Equal to non-strict. And how you know why I am not telling you in advance is because error message will tell you what to do. If you don't know or if you don't read this, you cannot do this, right? That error message itself is giving you the information about. Right, now you set it and execute the earlier command and now you won't get any error. Please look, job 1 out of 3. How many jobs are getting created now?
3.
Earlier, every command it was 1 job. Now 3 jobs, and you see something will be coming now. Boom, some data will come with all the partitions and all. Okay, so it is internally now doing each done and then it is doing the shuffling. See, did you see something came up? I will show you. Okay, so if suppose, look at that data which is coming in. You never saw all these kind of things. And look at this. select count of star from my orders where order underscore status equal to pending. Press enter. Sleepy. Okay, you got the result. Earlier also we got the result. Go back to your local host 8088. Make sure you are selecting the right query, which is my orders query. Come to the right side. Click on history. Look at the counters. How much is the map input records? That tells you what's the power of partitioning. Okay. Now it's not over. In the exam, they will be telling you that change the table orders to partition, to a partition table. But what is the name of our table? My orders, right? Original table is what? Orders. You cannot change that orders table into my orders. But what you can do, this is what you need. Look at this. Alter table orders, which is existing, which is not partitioned. Rename to is a new command in Hive. I will call it as backup orders. Okay, I am not going to use this anymore. Backup orders. And then alter table my orders, rename to alter table my orders, rename to what? Now your orders table is partitioned. Okay. She didn't understand anything like that. No? Changing one name to temporary and then changing the other table name, right? Backup table is not used. I am just putting it into a junk area. Huh?
You can also delete.
You should not delete. If suppose something is an error, how will you do it again?
How can we delete in Hive?
Drop table.
In Hive.
Drop table.
No, do you remember? We cannot do alterations in Hive as well.
Why you need to do the alteration? Drop table and then recreate. Otherwise, create or replace is a command.
I think she's talking about the rows. You cannot edit rows in a Hive table.
What?
Yeah, there is. We cannot do transactions, right? Like update.
We are coming to that. We are going to do that. Clear? Can you do or you want to do? Tomorrow we'll take the class. No problem, right?
Yeah.
Because my meeting got cancelled to next Sunday. Why? Already, I told one day holiday arranged the program.
No, it was already there anyway.
Anyway, you were not supposed to come. Okay, so no problem. I will record.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh?
No, I don't know.
Cricket match? Okay. Can you do this?
Yes.
You want to do it in home? Video is there. Okay. Please make sure one thing. Any table if you are creating it on Hive, make sure that Hive table has got partition depending upon your where clause. Okay. Please don't do any normalized or any table without any partitioning. Okay. Look at very simple example table. You see it is about 10 times. So just imagine about 1 million, 10 million rows if it is there. What will happen?
Ravi, quick question. So, as you said, partitioning should be based on our where condition,
Correct.
which we usually do more. But if it is huge table where we don't have